Well, hello, powerful people, and welcome to Aligned Fitness Living. 8 weeks to a stronger, leaner, happier, and healthier you. I'm Mike Thornton. I am your transformation coach on this journey, and I am so thrilled that you're here today, genuinely thrilled that you're here with me right now, because I truly believe that this program that I'm about to share with you today can transform your life forever. I really do. I believe that. And I've already had the opportunity to hear from so many of you along the way so far in our video comments and in my email box. I've gotten to hear from you about how frustrated you've been with your results in the past, how you feel stuck in a rut, or that you've tried everything and nothing seems to work for you, and that you're unmotivated, and that you're feeling lost. I've also got to hear from those of you that have gotten results in the past, only to kind of fall back into old habits, fall back into old mindsets, and fall back into even worse shape physically and mentally than you were before, and it becomes this yo-yo or a roller coaster, or however you want to say it. But again, I hear you, and I hear your frustration, and I understand what you've tried in the past. And I know that you're ready for something different. And that leads me to the last group of people I've been hearing from, the people that say, okay, I want it right now. When are you going to open up enrollment? I want to live aligned. You've been watching this video series and you know what it means to be aligned. And if you don't, that's okay, because we're going to share it here as well. But my question for you is, you watching this video right now, are you ready? Are you ready to go right now? Are you ready to align yourself with a program that will get you lasting results, that will have you on your way to being stronger and leaner and happier and healthier, and to maintain those results for a lifetime, to really, really, really find a fitness lifestyle in this program? Because I can tell you right now, we're not after temporary fixes here at Aligned Fitness Living. That's not what this program is about, and we're going to get into what this program is about here shortly. But I want you to just look at yourself and ask yourself, is this me? Am I ready? Am I truly ready? Because if you're truly ready, the information that I'm going to share with you is going to change your life. And I believe that it will change your life forever. So, to better answer that question, I think you probably need to have an idea of what it means to live aligned. So, what is aligned fitness living? What is this? Is it perfection? Not at all. Is it a quick fix solution? It's not that either. Okay, is it a special diet that I have to follow? It's a hardcore workout series, right? Or it's one of those intense 8-week programs that starts and we go to town, we whip you into shape in 8 weeks. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we drop you off and you're ready to go for the rest of your life. It's not that either. No. Yes, it's an 8-week program. But this program is much, much bigger and much more important than just 8 weeks. This program is about a lifetime of health, a lifetime of happiness, a lifetime of lasting results, a lifetime of supportive mindsets, supportive emotions, and supportive actions. It's about freedom from fad diets and freedom from quick fix solutions. It's about becoming leaner and stronger and happier and healthier in the next 8 weeks. But let me be very clear with you. 8 weeks is not our destination. The end of 8 weeks is not our final goal. 8 weeks is the starting point for the rest of your life. This program is different than any other program that you've ever done. It is not about the results that you will have at the end of 8 weeks. It's not. Will you have some results? Yeah, you will. But what it is more importantly about, it's about the mindsets and the belief systems and the habits and the guidelines and the little daily actions that you will have taken to put yourself on course for a fitness lifestyle, a permanent, long-lasting solution. That's where the freedom is. It's in knowing that you've taken the time and the care to build something that is sustainable, something that's great, and something that you can actually live by. I want to share with you exactly how our 8-week aligned fitness program works. But first, I want to answer the question, who am I? And why would you want to listen to me? It's a good question. It's a fair question. And I know this is the part where I am supposed to, wow you with all my expertise. But let's not get carried away, okay? I'm not one of those guys. But sure, I've had the opportunity to do some pretty cool stuff. So let me share that with you here now. Yes, I've studied and been certified by some of the most prestigious certifying agencies in the world, meaning I've done my homework, including the National Academy of Sports Medicine, the American Council on Exercise, and the National Exercise and Sports Training Association. So I have done my studying part. They've given me some pretty cool titles along the way, like Certified Personal Trainer, and Weight Loss, and Lifestyle Management Specialist, and Transformation Coach. I've had the opportunity to create programs that have been adopted by Fortune 500 companies. We've been voted best weight loss program in North Dallas for 2 years running now, we've been blessed to have the opportunity to help transform the lives of literally thousands of men and women. But those are things that I've done. Those are things that I've studied. Those are some programs that I've created. But who am I? Sure, all those things sound great, and they give you a little background on my experience, but they don't tell you anything about who I really am. So I'd like to slow down and just tell you that I'm somebody just like you that struggled at one point in time in my life. I had over 35 pounds to lose, and I was in the worst shape of my life. I was lost. I was unmotivated, and I didn't have a plan. But I found one. It took time, and it took a lot of effort, and it took a lot of failure, and then finally some successes along the way. But I found something that works. And I moved on it, and I started to align myself with some of these guidelines, and I found a way to change my life. I found a way to get back into the best shape of my life, and it changed my life so dramatically that for the past 16 years, my life has been dedicated to helping others with their fitness journeys. So, I have a personal story, and I can relate to where a lot of you might be coming from. That's part of who I am. Another part of who I am is the fact that I'm a proud father of 2 amazing children and the proud husband of my beautiful and talented and ambitious wife. I'm a business owner, a husband, a father, a member of my church, a board member of my HOA, a soccer dad, a piano recital dad, and all the other hats that we wear. And I share this with you to say, I get it. I get it. Life is busy, and things, they never seem to slow down. So how do we make it work? We align ourselves with the right people. We align ourselves with the right mindsets. We align ourselves with the right guidelines and the right actions. We live aligned. I created Aligned Fitness Living for some very special groups of people. And I want to ask you, are you one of them? I created this program from that person that puts so much time and energy and so much effort into their fitness every single year, only to throw their hands up in frustration without any results. Is that you? I also created this program for that person that perhaps has been doing the same routine over and over and over again, week after week and month after month, and they feel stuck. They're stuck in a rut. They're unable to make that final push. They're unable to lose that last 10 to 20, maybe even 30 pounds, and they're unable to find a way to get unstuck. Is that you? I also created this program for that person that might feel lost right now. That person that might be in the worst shape of their life. That person that might feel embarrassed or ashamed or unwilling to start a program in the presence of other people. They're looking for a program that is effective, that they can do from the comfort of their own home, in their own privacy. I know that they're out there. I've heard from them, and maybe that's you. And finally, I created this program for anyone that is ready for a lifestyle change. They're tired of the roller coaster diets. They're tired of the yo-yo diets. They're tired of having 2 different wardrobes. They're tired of making excuses as to why they don't have time, of making excuses as why they can't have better food, make better food choices. And they're tired of the old way of living. they're ready for something new. They're ready for something better, something that they can live by. Is that you? You know, I want you to think on it. And if any of those descriptions speak to you, then I'm here to tell you that you're in the right place. I really, truly believe that. I believe that this program can help you change your life. I've seen the principles that this very program is based on help transform the lives of so many other people that I've been blessed to work with. People that have lost 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 70 pounds. I've had people even lose over 100 pounds, and they've not only been able to lose that weight, but they've been able to maintain it. People that lacked self-confidence. They felt unmotivated. They didn't believe in their abilities, that are now strong and confident and leaders and motivators for other people. I've worked with people that have been able to get off medications, lower their cholesterol levels, lower their blood sugar levels, lower their blood pressure, and just become a healthier human being. And then I've worked with people that have completely transformed their lives and have become what I call true fitness lifestylers. And that's exactly what I want for you. I'm passionate about this because I've seen it happen. I've seen it work for other people, and I know that it can work for you. So right now, it's time. Let's talk about aligned fitness living, 8 weeks to a stronger, leaner, happier, and healthier you. Now, you've already heard me say many times that this program is very different than any other program that you've ever done. So let's talk about a little bit about how it's different. A lot of programs that are out there, and I've participated in some of these programs before, they are so intensive. And if you remember back in video 1, we talked about one of the biggest mistakes that we can make. And in case you missed it, let me just share it with you right now. 2 big mistakes that we make when it comes to starting a fitness program is, number 1, we try to do everything at the same time. I'm going to eat better, think better, move better. I'm going to start a muscular training program, and I'm going to just change everything drastically at the same time. And what we find is that that's very difficult to sustain, and a lot of times that's why we don't sustain it. Another reason, or another big mistake that we make when it comes to starting a fitness program is directly in alignment with that, is that we think that's what we have to do. And because we think it's this big mountain of a chore, of a task, and we think everything's got to change, we keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, because guess what? There's never a right time for everything to change drastically like that. So what I do want to tell you is that if you are looking at all these areas, changing them, then you're on the right track. But it's in the process of how we do it that makes this program very different. If you're coming into this program and thinking, okay, Mike, hit me with everything in week 1. I want to know exactly what to eat and when to eat it. I need to know what my muscular training program is. I need to know what my cardiovascular training program is going to be. I need to know, how do I need to clean out my pantry and clean out my refrigerator, and just tell me everything in week 1 so I can get this thing going. Then I'm going to start with a little change of mindset, because this program isn't like that. No, what we're going to do is we're going to align you in 8 different areas. And let's talk about what that means really quick, and then I'll get to the 8 areas, I promise. But you've aligned. You've heard me say it over and over and over again. What does that mean? Well, what I mean is that there's 2 sets of alignments that need to happen. Alignment number 1 is that you need to make sure that 8 areas of your life are all in alignment with each other and focused on moving you in the same direction. Those 8 areas are your mindset, your emotions, your meal planning, your environment, your movement, cardiovascular exercise, your energy, your muscular training, your maintenance, and of course, eating, which is what we all think of when it comes to fitness. That's where we want to start. So these 8 areas, and what I mean by they have to be aligned with each other is if you're going out there and you're saying, all right, I'm going to go run a marathon, but mentally in your mind you believe that it's never possible, then it's not going to happen. And that's a very simplified way of looking at it. But what I'm telling you is that these areas are connected to each other. And if they're not in alignment with each other, they're going to pull you in different directions, and it's going to be very hard for you to create a lifestyle. A lifestyle is about having these areas all in alignment and moving you in the same direction. It's very hard to get out there and do your muscular training if your energy is not where it needs to be. It's very hard to have a good emotional state of mind if your energy is not where it needs to be, if you're not getting enough sleep. So, all of these things are tied together. And it's okay if you don't see how they're all tied together now. That's what this program is going to cover. Each week, we're going to break down each one of these areas, and that is going to be our area of focus. Are we going to focus on all of them at the same time? No. This program is different. We're going to take one thing. So that's the first alignment. We want to make sure that these 8 areas are all moving you in the same direction. But how do you know that they're moving you in the right direction? Well, the second set of alignment is to align yourselves in each of these areas, each of these 8 areas, to align yourself with certain guidelines. Not perfection, but certain guidelines, a set of rules that you can live by. Here is what I have found out in life, and I bet you can agree with me here. People like guidelines. People like to know that there's a list that they can follow, that if they follow that list, it will lead them to their destination. Well, I am here to tell you that we've got that set of guidelines. And again, you've heard me say a couple times now, it's not about perfection. We're not going to sit here and tell you that you have to be perfect in every category. But no, there's a set of guidelines that if you align yourself with those guidelines, first, make sure these 8 areas are aligned and moving you in the same direction. And they move you in that direction because of the set of guidelines in each of these areas that you will follow. These are the principles. These are the guidelines. These are the habits that I have seen my clients form and follow over the 16 years that I've been doing this and have been able to maintain a fitness lifestyle. And this is exactly what this program is based on, exactly how I want to share what I want to share with you over the next 8 weeks. It's very exciting stuff. Now, am I going to get into, in this video, everything that's involved with mindset, everything that's involved with emotions? No. Read down this page. There's a lot of information on this page that I'm not going to cover in this video, but you can see how each week we focus our attention on that one area. And we start with mindset because everything is first created in the mind. And we may be excited and we may want to jump forward and we may want to get right into all that other stuff. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to work on this first. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, I've got that all covered, but let's just make sure we go through it. Let's just, if you've got it all covered, let's make sure it's strengthened. See, I believe that a fitness lifestyle is like building a house. And I believe that your want and your desire, and I have to believe that you have want and desire if you're here right now. I have to believe that you have the want and the desire because you've been watching this video series and you're listening to me now. So I believe that your want is the foundation. I really do. I believe that want is foundation. The problem is, for the rest of building that house, a lot of times we take all the bricks and all the wood and we just throw it in a big pile and we go, wow, I've got a big, beautiful, disaster is what it ends up being, right? Because we try to do everything at the same time. Building a house is a process. You first have to lay that foundation. Then you have to frame the house and you have to put the frame up. And then you have to brick by brick by brick, you have to build that structure. And when you do, it becomes a long-lasting structure, and that's exactly what we're after here is a lifestyle. We're not looking for the quick build of the house. We want to make sure that it's done right, and your want is that foundation. These 8 areas that we're talking about become your structure, and every guideline that we give you within is laying brick by brick by brick to make sure that we build a strong and sturdy building, house, whatever it is that you want to live in, but strong lifestyle. And that's what it means to be aligned, is to have these 8 areas aligned and to align yourself with certain guidelines to build that strong structure, to build that strong lifestyle. So what I want to cover with you next is exactly what we do in our 8-week program. What are you going to get? What are you going to receive? So let's talk about that now. Each week, we're going to step you through a specific training on how to not only see results when it comes to your fitness, but more importantly, to teach you how to make them last as a lifestyle. These are the 8 modules. This is the meat of the program. Each week, you're going to receive access to a module that is focused on what we're focusing on for that particular week: mindset, emotions, meal planning, whatever it might be. And we're going to outline all of the specific guidelines that will help you live an aligned life for that specific area. Each module is going to be in video format, and it's going to have a PowerPoint presentation as well. It's going to be me coaching you through this entire module, and each one is probably about an hour. Some might be a little shorter than an hour, and some might run a little longer. But what I don't want to do is give you a specific time and then leave out information, because I'm trying to keep a schedule. Some of them are going to be a little bit longer, and some of them are going to be a little bit shorter, just depending upon what we're talking about that week. But that particular week, that will be our focus. Our only focus for that week will be what we outlined in that specific module. Each lesson is broken down into manageable, attainable steps, so you get results. This is important, without feeling overloaded with content. Because it's in the overload where the mindset changes and we say, I'm out. I can't do this. This is not sustainable. So what we're going to do is we're going to step by step it. We're going to keep you from feeling overloaded. We're going to focus on just that one thing and give you some attainable steps each and every week. Like I said, the content is delivered to you each week. It's in our private membership website where you can go through the action steps at your own pace and get support when you need it. Each week, now there's some accountability here as well. Each week, you will complete your aligned action steps, and you're going to email them directly to me. I'm going to analyze them, and I'm going to provide you feedback and coaching points to help you continue with your progress from week to week. Okay, this is a very important part of the program. You are going to receive personalized coaching. Yes, you're going to have access to all these modules, but you and I are going to have a working relationship together as well. Also, every day of the week, you're going to hear from me every day of the week. Most of the time, it's going to be an email, but sometimes it might be a short video message. But I am going to, every day of the week, you're going to receive a motivational, a goal-oriented email that directly ties into the content that you're learning that week to help keep you inspired and on track. Now, we have a couple other options when it comes to enrolling in this program. One of them is unlimited email coaching. Unlimited email coaching, which means if you've got a question at any given time, any day of the week, you don't have to wait for that weekly coaching session that we have. You can send me an email, and by the end of the day, I will have responded and answered your questions for you and provided you some coaching points for whatever that question might be. Also, for those of you that choose our live coaching calls, you're going to have access to one-on-one coaching calls with me. These calls they're basically laser-focused personal calls on your personal needs. They help keep you on track, and they give you the accountability that you need to be successful. And each of these coaching calls is 30 minutes. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the options that you have when enrolling in this program. But what I want you to understand is that you and I are going to have a working relationship together. It's going to be at different levels based on how you enroll. But each week we're stair-stepping you to set you on course for that fitness lifestyle. There's no overwhelm. I promise you, the content that is in this program is the most doable content it might be so doable that you say, is this going to work? And the answer is yes. I've seen it work for literally thousands of people. I've been blessed to work with thousands of people that have not only gotten results, but maintained results and completely changed their lifestyles. And I know that you can do it too. And I'm hoping that you're starting to see that you can do it as well with this program. So each week you're going to get your 1 hour, give or take a few, online module where you get to watch it at your own pace, follow the very attainable steps that are outlined for you, those guidelines, start to live by them. And what we'll do is, if in week 1 we focus on mindset, in week 2 we're going to add in the next one, which I believe in week 2 we talk about eat to lose, lean, and live. That's right. So we start talking about eating in week 2. Isn't that funny? Week 1 we just talk about mindset. We don't even talk about really what you're supposed to eat. And it sounds different, doesn't it? I bet if it's different, you're going to get a different result than some of the programs that you've tried in the past. Understand that? Yep, good. So, but we're going to build. So week 1 will be mindset. And then week 2, we're going to say, all right, we've got the mindset guidelines in place. Now let's add in some eating guidelines. And in week 3, now that we've got the mindset and the eating guidelines, let's talk about how to get charged emotionally and make sure we're in the right emotional state. And then in week 4, we're going to add on, how to move for maximum impact. And that's right. And week 4 is when we really start to introduce the cardiovascular aspect. And that crazy 3 weeks go by and we never even tell you to go run a marathon. Well, we're never going to tell you to run a marathon. But the point is that we're building here. We're building something that you can do. In your mind, you're thinking, this is sustainable. I can follow these guidelines. And when that happens, that's when the magic happens, folks. That's where the freedom comes in, is because when you believe that it's something that you can do, and it is physically something that you can do and incorporate into your life, and it's livable, sustainable and livable, you've created a lifestyle. And that's what we're going to do over these 8 weeks. Also, every enrollment option does include our aligned eating meal plans, but we're going to talk about that right now. I tell you what, let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about what those enrollment options look like. Let me start by saying all of our enrollment options involve some one-on-one coaching with me, whether it be via email weekly, whether it be email every day of the week, unlimited access, or our live online coaching. Every single one of them involves coaching. This is a coaching program. This is not just something that you're going to watch on your own and never hear from anybody. There's going to be some back and forth, which is really important that we have this established relationship. So I want you to focus on that as we outline these enrollment options. And of course, you can figure out which one best suits your personal needs. But option 1 is our Bronze Coaching Program. And the Bronze Coaching Program is going to include all 8 weeks of these exclusive online modules that we've already talked about. We don't need to get too much more into that. You're going to get all 8 weeks of the online modules. You're going to get your weekly aligned action steps assignment and email coaching support. So what you're going to do is you're going to send in your aligned action steps assignment to me every week. We'll have a designated day, and I will analyze it and put those coaching points on there for you and send it back to you. And you and I will have that back and forth on a weekly basis. Additionally, all of the presentations that we're going to do are going to be available to you in a PDF download format. So when you see that video, that module, right below each module, there's going to be a little section for you to download the PowerPoint presentation that we're going through in the video. So you're actually going to have access to those notes for the rest of your life. And then also you'll have access to the Aligned Fitness Living meal plans, the meal plans that I've seen work over and over and over and over again for my clients over 16 years. So option 1, our Bronze Coaching, you get 8 weeks of online modules, our exclusive online modules on building a fitness lifestyle. You get your weekly aligned action steps and email coaching support. You're going to get our PDF download for all the presentations. And then you're also going to get the Aligned Fitness Living meal plans. Now let me stop and say this whole program is electronic. So if you think you're going to have to be waiting for something to show up in the mail and you're going to have to collect all these things and no, everything's going to be delivered to you via email or through our membership site, and you'll have access to it just like that. So keep that in mind. We make it extremely easy for you, right? Option 2 is our Silver Coaching. Option 2 is also going to include the 8 weeks of exclusive online modules, the weekly aligned action steps, and the email coaching support. You're going to have access to the PDF downloads for all the presentations, the access to the Aligned Fitness Living meal plans. You're also, with option 2, our Silver Coaching, you're going to have unlimited email support for the 8 weeks of your enrollment. That means from the time we start the program, which we always pre-enroll, so right now, if enrollment's open, we're pre-enrolling for a date that's coming, and you'll probably see that date somewhere on this website, because the date changes based on when we're enrolling this program. But look for the date. That's when you get access to everything, is when the program is start. Now, you and I will start a back and forth before then. But what I want you to understand is from the start date, from 8 weeks out, during our 8 weeks, you have unlimited email support. That means you have my email address. You email me with questions, concerns, whatever I can help you with, and I will coach you on a daily basis if that's necessary, whatever it takes. But you get that unlimited email support. And then you also, this is very cool, you get continued access to our program for up to 6 months after your enrollment ends. So after your 8-week program, you have another 6 months that you have access to everything on our membership site. And you'll also get any updates that come along in those 6 months. So if we add something new, if we add something to our meal plans, if we add a new video, a supplemental video or something else, you get access to it. And that's in our silver coaching program. Excuse me. Option 3 is our gold coaching program. Everything that you get in the other 2 programs. 8 weeks of exclusive online modules, weekly aligned action steps and email coaching support. PDF download for all the presentations, aligned fitness living meal plans, the unlimited email support for the 8 weeks of your enrollment as well. And then you also get continued access to all the videos and updates for 12 months instead of 6 months. So up to a year, you have access to the entire program and any updates that come along. But probably the biggie here is that in the Gold Coaching Program, you get 4 live 30-minute one-on-one coaching calls with me, okay, to personalize your program, to provide you guidance, and to keep you motivated. So if you like this, and what we do is we space those out. We have an introductory coaching session that we do at the beginning. A couple weeks out, we'll have your second coaching. A couple more weeks out, we'll do your third, and then we'll have a closing coaching session at the end of the 8-week program. And so those are our 3 enrollment options. Option 1, bronze coaching. Option 2, silver coaching. And option 3, our gold coaching. Now, I have something that I think you're going to like, and I want you to understand that I am so confident in the information that is in this program. I am so confident that if you align yourself with these guidelines, that if you align yourself with me, your transformation coach, I am so confident that you will not only get results, but you will be able to maintain them for a lifetime. I am so confident that in a year from now, I'm going to follow up with you and find out how things are going, and you're going to be in the best shape of your life. I am so confident that you're going to love this program so much that you tell other people about it. I am so confident that this is something that is different, and you're going to embrace it and love it and live by it and get results that last for a lifetime. I'm so confident that I have a 100% money back guarantee. That's right, 100% money back guarantee. That if you at the end of your 8 weeks aren't completely thrilled with your experience that you received from me, I will give you a 100% money back guarantee. Now, there is something that ties directly into that, and that is I'm your coach. And there's an accountability factor here. If we're going to have this working relationship, then it's going to be a working relationship. And the only way that I will honor a 100% money back guarantee is if you do this program. That's right, you have to do the program. If you're one of those people that wants to just enroll because there is a money back guarantee and you might dip your toe in the water, and then after a week you might get disinterested and not want to do it, well then there's no money back guarantee for that. I'm telling you right now, if you do this program, if you trust in the guidelines and you follow the guidelines and you trust in my coaching and you follow my coaching and it's still at the end of that, at the end of 8 weeks, if you've worked the program. And how do I know if you've worked the program? Because remember, you have an aligned action steps assignment that you're going to be taking every week. So what you need to do is you need to turn in those assignments week to week, follow the coaching points. And if you do that, if you truly work this program, and you don't see results, I will be happy to give you a 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked whatsoever. Okay? But what I don't want you to do is to not hold yourself accountable. I don't want you to enroll in a program that just because there's a money back guarantee that you can get away with not having to do everything, because that is not why you're here. And you know it, and I know it. You're not here for that. You're not here for one more temporary approach. You're here because you want to change something for a lifetime. You want a permanent approach, something that you can live by, something that's sustainable. And I truly believe it's here, right in front of you. And so yes, I'm confident that if you follow this program and provide the evidence of you following the program, that if it doesn't work, 100% money back guarantee at the end of 8 weeks, no questions asked. I'm confident that it will work for you. I believe that you can do this. I know that you can do it. Even if you don't believe for yourself, let me have enough belief for you at the moment. And somewhere along the way, you will adopt my belief as well. It will start to swell inside you, and you will start to feel that belief for yourself. Because I'm a believer in that belief is the fuel for action. And it's action that drives you to success. Action is required, and action is fueled by belief. And again, I have that belief for you right now, and I know you will too. So that's my 100% money back guarantee. No risk to you whatsoever as long as you are willing to participate. If you're willing to participate, then I would love to have you. Now, there is one more thing that we need to discuss, and that is that enrollment is limited. This is not one of those programs where I'm going to flood in as many people as possible. I've already told you there's a very personal aspect to this program. You and I are going to have a relationship. We're going to have a back and forth. And I want to make sure that you get the attention that you absolutely deserve for investing in a program like this. And so I'm only going to take a certain amount of enrollments based on which of these options are chosen. And once we get to a point where I feel that we've got plenty of people in the program, that's going to be somewhere along the lines of 20 to 30 people. Not very many, but 20 to 30 for this round. Then we're going to have to close enrollment. So if this is something that you want to do, and you believe that you're going to work the program, so the money back guarantee is sitting right there for you. If you work this program and it doesn't work, 100% money back guarantee, then I'm going to encourage you to enroll today. If the enrollment button is still there and you're watching this video and you can still enroll, click through. You'll see your different enrollment options and enroll in whatever fits for you. And we will get you started on your aligned fitness living today. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for those that are getting in. Yes, please keep in mind that enrollment is limited. And I do that not because I don't want everybody to get in, but because I want to make sure you get the experience that you are investing your time and your energy into with this program. I want to make sure I'm investing into you as well. That's what my job is to do as a coach, is to invest in you, to give you knowledge, to give you motivation, to give you a set of guidelines to help you move your life forward. And I know that we can do that together. I know that in 8 weeks we can be on track to be stronger and leaner and happier and healthier, and that you can truly transform your life. I believe that, and I offer my belief to you as well. In the meantime, I will be rooting you on, and I truly hope to see you on the other side.